Welcome. I'm Ernie Goss, research faculty member here at Fresno State University at the Craig School of Business. Here we are on the first business day of March to talk about our survey findings for the month of February. We survey each month businesses in the four-county San Joaquin Valley economic area, and from that we have an index which is calculated, which tells us how the economy is likely to do over the next 3 to 6 months. Well, how was it for the month of February? Folks, it was good. It was the sixth straight month the index was over 50. Now, the index ranges between 0 and 100. 50 is growth neutral. Above 50 is growth positive. In fact, the index was 60.2. That's up from 59.5 for January. Now, 60.2 doesn't sound good, but it's very strong. In fact, that's a record index for the San Joaquin Valley. So things are looking good, moving ahead. I expect the economy to continue to expand. We had inflationary index, the inflation index, I should say, at the wholesale level, was up to 63.5 from January 60.4. So we're getting more inflationary pressures, and that's what you expect from an expanding economy. Now let me bring up a chart showing comparing the U.S. numbers to the San Joaquin Valley, and there you see in red the San Joaquin Valley, and you see there jumping up to a very, very robust reading for the month of February. And there you see the U.S. number up, also trending much higher. Now the index for the U.S. will come out later on this morning. I obviously did not have access to that number as we produce this report today. So the job index for the region, for February, was up to 54.2, and that's up from January's 53.3. So that's also good. We're expanding, we're adding jobs, about 1.5% to 2% growth range year over year. That's good. Now, we're seeing growth, like I said, 1.5% to 2%, and even better in some months. So that's very good. Now, we ask about some other special questions this time. 7 out of 10 businesses agree that cutting corporate tax rate would have a positive impact on their business. That's cutting corporate tax rates. And 4 out of 10 businesses, those who responded, expect a Fed rate hike to have a negative impact. Now, is there going to be a Fed rate hike in March? I don't think so. The likelihood is less than 50% right now. So, what do we watch for? What should you watch for? What should I watch for in the month ahead? Keep an eye on the FOMC meeting. That's the Federal Open Market Committee meeting on March 15th. Very important what Janet Yellen says about the economy and says about interest rates. The Open Market Committee trying to prepare us for a rate hike. Now, they could raise rates at that meeting. I don't think so, but we'll know in the weeks and days ahead. The wage growth, the BLS number, comes out March the 10th. That's the employment report. Look at that wage growth number. Very important, because if it runs up around 3%, above 3 to 3.5%, then you should pencil in a rate hike on March the 15th. Look at the CPI. Keep an eye on the CPI for February. That also comes out March the 15th. Janet Yellen would have had access to that the day before, so she would know the numbers, and that'll have some influence on their rate hike decisions. So we're looking at rates beginning to rise in the month ahead. So what are the risks? What are the risks moving forward from now until summer? Keep an eye on the headline inflation. That's the overall inflation gauge. When it moves from 2 to 2.5 to 3, there will be more than 3 rate hikes. The Fed's promised us 3 this year. We could have even more than 3. We could have a rate hike as early as March 15th. Trade restrictions is a big concern for we economists. I mean, maybe we're just a little nerdy, but I think here nerdiness might be a good thing. Trade restrictions, immigration restrictions, it's just not good for the overall economy, as most economists see it. Most economists are free traders, free mobility of resources. That would be inputs like labor and others. We're on that side. That's what we're taught in school. We live by that. Strong U.S. dollar That's definitely an issue, and that would be in repatriation of earnings. If that happens, the Trump administration decides, and with the consent of Congress, to repatriate foreign earnings. That would be Apple, for example, bringing earnings home. That would increase the value of the dollar. So the outlook is for a healthy growth for the San Joaquin Valley, and for that matter, the U.S. looking ahead. Higher inflation, we are seeing higher inflation, not the region of concern. Wage growth, also solid, getting better, still not where we'd like to see it, but it's moving in the direction that the Fed would be raising rates. So what am I looking for in interest rates? Higher, both long-term and short-term. By the end of the year, still no more than a 1% increase, and of course by historical standards that's still pretty competitive. Well, that's it, folks. That was our report for the month of February. Here I am on the first business day of March. I'll be back with you on April the 3rd. That's a Monday. That's the first business day of the month of April, reporting on March's survey results. So until we meet again then, may your economic cup runneth over.